Today I'm going to talk about why buying direct is like owning a dog and other awesome stuff you should know. This is going to be a little overview of why buying directly from publishers can be really valuable. That's the first thing. And then also going to go over how BuyAds helps you buy directly easier than you've ever been able to buy direct before. So let's get started. First of all, my name's Ryan Hupfer. I helped grow a startup into a US top 50 website. That was one of my past jobs, so I've actually been on the marketing side and on the publisher side. So I've been on both sides of the fence, so I understand the ecosystem very well. I was the first hire here at iSocket BuyAds, and I put hummus on everything. I can't get enough of the stuff. So buying direct, let's give a simple definition here. Buying direct is finding and buying display advertising directly from a publisher on a guaranteed basis. So let's break that down a little bit. So buying direct is when you go directly to a publisher, you find the inventory you want to buy. It could be a 300 by 250, it could be a leaderboard, it could be above the fold, below the fold, but you pick the spot, you know exactly what you want to buy, and you buy it on a guaranteed basis, usually based upon how many impressions and how long you would like it to run. So an example of an order like this would be, I want to buy TechCrunch's 300 by 250. I want to buy 3 million impressions and I want to run it for the next 3 months. That would be a guaranteed order, and you would buy that order for a certain amount of money. So it would cost you X amount of dollars to place that order. You and the publisher would agree on the price, you would buy it, and then the order would be guaranteed to run when you bought it. So that is the definition of buying direct. So I guess you could say direct media buying is like owning a dog. It's awesome, but at the same time it can also be really hard to manage. So let's talk about why it's awesome. Buying direct media is awesome because it offers flexibility. When I say flexibility, I mean there's way less restrictions than there are with a lot of ad networks. You can come up with an ad creative or a campaign you want to run, and as long as that publisher is okay with it, you can run it. There's no other types of rules, what you can link to, what you can't link to, what the creative can look like, what you can mention, what you can't mention. Whereas some ad networks, take Google AdWords for example, there are some restrictions on what you can run, the type of text you can use, types of images you can use, the types of landing pages you link to, right? There's always a quality score and all those other things that come into account. If you're buying directly, you have the flexibility to do pretty much whatever you want as long as the publisher says okay. You have scale. So scale means you know you can buy the amount of impressions and get the amount of reach that you need in a certain amount of time because you're buying direct and you have already bought all of that inventory in the future. So you buy it today for the next X amount of months or the X amount of days, and you know that you're going to get the coverage you need and the scale that you want because you bought it directly. No one else can come in and buy that same inventory. You've already bought it up, and it's going to run like it's supposed to run. Transparency. Transparency is very important when you're an advertiser, especially when you're buying lots of different advertising campaigns. It's good to know when, where, and why your ads are running. It's very simple. If you're buying an ad, you should know where that ad is running. Quality. Getting the best impressions, right? So there's always above the fold, below the fold. There's different impressions, first impression, second impression. When you buy direct, you're getting the best of the best. And that's really important when it comes to performance on the ads that you're buying. The more premium the spot is, most likely the better performance you're going to have. So getting that quality is also very important. So let's see why direct media buying is also hard to manage. It's time consuming. You have to basically create a relationship with every single publisher you want to buy ads from, and then you have to do those deals one at a time. Each person's going to be different. You have to pay each one of them. You have to get reporting from each one of them. It can get very, very time consuming. Email overload. You're emailing back and forth. You're trying to get deals done. You're asking questions. If you're going to do a direct deal with a publisher, there's going to be a lot of email involved. Manual updates of your creative. So if at some point during your campaign, if you want to change your creative, it's going to be a very manual process if you're dealing directly just with one or two or multiple publishers. And then payment friction, figuring out when and how to pay, what payment method you want to use, when you're going to actually pay. All of these things you have to figure out on a one-to-one basis. And then fax machines. Yes, believe it or not, some publishers still use fax machines. They will send you paperwork via fax. So all of these things are what makes it really hard to manage. But you can also see there's a lot of awesome things too, right? So buying direct is powerful, but it's also got this downside that makes it somewhat unappealing to a lot of advertisers. Okay, so now that you know about some of the good and the bad of buying direct, let me talk about what iSocket does and how it relates to BuyAds. All right, so iSocket, you can think of it as a publisher tool. iSocket makes it easier for publishers to sell directly to you as an advertiser. So we have over 1,500 publishers who use iSocket to package up and sell their best inventory on a guaranteed basis. So this means you get access to lots of publishers very quickly. And like I said, all of the inventory that we deal with and all the inventory that's in iSocket is priced and sold directly. So you know what you're buying and you know how much it's going to cost you. And you know that it's quality. So we're also helping publishers become more efficient and transparent. So the publishers love that we're not a black box. They want to know who you are and they want to know who's buying from them. And we make that available. We think it just makes sense. We like to be transparent, and we think that if you're buying directly from them, they should know that you're buying from them, and so you can create that relationship. iSocket does not want to get in the middle, and neither does BuyAds. So from a BuyAds perspective, we're making it easier for you to buy directly from the web's best publishers. So those publishers that use iSocket, they put their inventory into iSocket, and it makes it available to you through BuyAds. We have a searchable marketplace for media buyers. We make it easy to find and buy the stuff you want. You can search through, you can add it to a shopping cart just like you would like in an Amazon e-commerce experience, and check out and buy from the publishers that you want to run your campaigns on. This means you get to work with publishers directly. So you can still work with them directly, have the direct relationships, and still have all the benefits of buying direct without all the hassles that we talked about earlier. You can tell us the publishers you want to work with, and we will actually add them to our catalog. So if for some reason there's a publisher that you want to buy advertising from and you want to run a campaign on, but they're not in the BuyAds catalog, all you have to do is tell us, and we'll go contact that publisher directly and get them into the catalog in a matter of days. It doesn't take us very long to get a publisher up and running. And then also we'll help you plan your media for free. One of the services that we have is called the BuyAds Concierge. And the BuyAds Concierge will help any advertiser, any media buyer with their media plan as long as you're spending over $5,000 per month. So if you're spending over $5,000 per month, you're not really sure what publishers to target, what to put in your media plan, you can reach out, talk to us, and we'll step you through that process and make it real easy for you. So in the BuyAds marketplace, publishers sell their inventory in a couple different ways. The first and most popular is CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. You know, a little fun fact for you, CPM actually means cost per milla meaning thousand in Latin. I'm not sure why they had to make that so hard, but CPM means how much are you going to pay to have your ad show 1,000 times. So CPM is the most popular option, like I said, and as publishers get larger and larger, most likely they're only going to be selling on a CPM basis. Then the second option is tenancy. Tenancy is where you can buy an ad on a publisher's site for a cost per week, per month, or even per quarter. So you buy that spot and your ad shows up on every single impression as opposed to buying it on a per 1,000 impression basis. So there's two different types, CPM and tenancy. And it's all dependent on which publisher you're looking at and how they want to package up and sell their ads. So a question that we get quite a bit is, what about performance advertisers? Performance advertisers don't buy on CPM, right? And that couldn't be farther from the truth. We work with a lot of performance advertisers. And performance advertisers love using BuyAds because through BuyAds, they get access to better rates than going directly to a publisher. We already have a relationship with all these publishers. They trust us. We're sending them money. And through that relationship, we can help you negotiate for better prices. You can also buy at lower minimums than most publisher sales teams offer. This means there's no need for any out clauses, and you'll be able to buy at smaller amounts than if you went and had to talk to a member of that publisher's sales team. And the reason that they allow a smaller minimum is because since we make it so efficient for them to accept and run orders, they're okay with running smaller orders since we make it so much easier for them to run it. Also, there's no strict rules on creatives and landing pages. Like I said earlier, you're doing a deal directly with the publisher. So they approve whatever they want, and it's not an algorithm that's deciding whether or not your ad can run. So it gives you a lot more freedom when it comes to what campaigns you can run. So I want to give a couple examples of a couple very high performance advertisers who we work with. One is Rickshaw Bagworks. They're very CPA focused. These guys aren't just out buying for the fun of it. They're tracking what they're buying, they're tracking that into sales, and they're seeing if it backs out. And they keep on spending more money with us. They love using BuyAds. It's an easy way for them to find and buy really good inventory. So usually a lot of these performance advertisers will go broad first, and then they'll test and scale. So they'll buy multiple properties, see what works, and then they'll scale up from there. They'll take the ones that don't work out of the campaign, and then they'll keep the ones that do work, and they'll throw more money at it so they can get a higher return on their investment. And then they'll try to scale up from there. They also use the BuyAds concierge. So they keep buying, they keep testing, and we just keep helping them find new inventory, and we help them optimize the campaigns that they're already running. This is actually a quote that Chris Schroeder from Rickshaw Bagworks sent us. BuyAds is the best place to buy targeted direct advertising on the web. Their customer service is fantastic, their back end is very easy to use, and their reach is broad. They cover the web. So thanks to Rickshaw Bagworks for saying that. But you can see just by how they're talking about us, they enjoy the reach that we have, the different types of publishers, the ease of use, and the fact that we have good customer service. So we love hearing quotes from our advertisers like that. So another advertiser we work with is AppSumo. I mean, they are lead generation masterminds. They know the lifetime value of their customers, and they aren't scared to buy a lot of inventory if it's working. Same thing with them. They find, buy, and scale, and they're always testing out new publishers. Anytime we have new publishers, we send it over to them. They most likely will do a test buy and see if that new inventory can back out to what they're looking for and what gives them a positive return on their investment. And they also use the BuyAds concierge. We're always there to help, and we're always there to help them take care of their campaigns. The last advertiser I want to talk about is Full Sail University. They are extremely CPA focused, so they're only spending money on the inventory that gives them the cost per acquisition that they need at scale. They're not just going to be spending money out there blindly. They use the BuyAds concierge as well. We help them find the best inventory, and we're always suggesting new inventory that they could be buying. And they're repeat buyers. We're saving them time and effort on their direct buys so they continue to come back to us and ask for help on who should I be spending with? What new publishers do you have? How can I get the most out of my campaigns? How can I negotiate with these publishers? And we do all of that work for them through the BuyAds concierge service. So that's the end of this presentation. I hope you learned a lot about BuyAds and just about buying directly in general. If you have any questions, feel free to send me stuff. Once again, my name's Ryan Hupfer. It's buyads.com. You can check out the marketplace. You don't need to sign up for an account. You can just go in, start searching, add inventory to your cart, and then start buying. Place your order, and once your orders are approved, then we'll start running. You can hit me up on Twitter at Hup, H-U-P, or email me at ryan@isocket.com. Thanks for your time. Hope you learned a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.